Hi everyone, welcome back to the Community Dialogues with a bit of a sustainable twist. This afternoon we're in the studio with Doug Flournoy. Last time we were here we got to meet with two of our founding Resilient Action Initiative members, and Doug is another. Doug, I'm sure you've known of him in our community. He's played many roles, and we're going to get to learn a little bit more about those roles in the community here over the next few minutes. Doug, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for asking me.
Yeah.
I appreciate that very much.
Well, I appreciate all that you do, and I've learned a lot about you in the last, couple of days, just doing a little review, more than I knew already. I was already so appreciative of the work that you do in our community. Doug's on City Council, and he has been on, or was on the school board for 12 years.
12 years, yeah.
Yeah, he's been in service, a great part of his life. He is in service to Fairfield in so many ways. Doug, tell me a little bit about your younger years growing up in Virginia. What oriented you towards such deep education? Doug is a chemist. He has a master's degree in chemistry, a graduate degree,
bachelor's degree in chemistry.
Okay, I'm corrected. But tell me, what oriented you towards that field?
Well, I guess coming out of high school, I wanted to do something medical related, and there was a community college just 20 miles away from my house, and I went there and I talked to some people and decided to take up medical laboratory technology as a career goal.
Okay.
At least in the short run.
Yeah.
So it was a 2-year degree, and in that field, you learn to draw blood, and you do blood analyses. So I would do CBCs and microbiology plates, and they take cultures and all that kind of thing.
Great.
Write reports and look at the microscope and tell the doctor what kind of bacteria you see under the microscope.
Fun.
That kind of thing. So I did that for a few years, and while I was doing that, I took a course in organic chemistry at the same community college, and I developed an interest in chemistry.
Uh-huh.
So I went to Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia, and took up a major in chemistry.
What happened after that?
I graduated, and then I was applying to graduate school. So I decided I wanted to do research, and I applied to several graduate programs and landed at Ohio State University. Mm-hmm. And because I had an interest still in biological things. And they had, at Ohio State University, they have a chemistry department that has 5 divisions, and one of those divisions is biochemistry. Mm-hmm. So I wanted that combination of biological sciences combined with chemistry. So here I am doing biology or biochemistry in a chemistry department.
Great.
And I was there for 2 years, and that's when my major professor took a new position at University of Wisconsin in Madison, and he moved, and so I moved with him. And
wow.
Ended up at the Institute for Enzyme Research in the biochemistry department at University of Wisconsin.
What does that look like? The Department of Enzyme Research. That's really intriguing.
Actually, it is intriguing because that building is the building where the DNA code was unlocked. So Karana did the 3 codon sequences that tell you which amino acid to put on next. Well, he did his work in that building.
Wow.
So there is a long history of famous biochemists working there.
Okay, so I can see why your professor wanted to go.
My major professor became one of them.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was working under him.
Yeah.
And so I graduated there in '88 or thereabouts.
Yeah. And so shortly after that, you ended up in Fairfield, perhaps, maybe in the early 90s, yes?
Yeah, 94.
Okay. You came to teach chemistry at Indian Hills.
I did, yeah.
Had you already had a propensity for education prior to that? Teaching?
Yes, actually. So I was in Madison, Wisconsin. After I graduated, or toward the end of my graduate career, I was doing research at the Forest Products Laboratory, which is a USDA lab in Madison.
Okay.
And I was there on soft money, on grant money.
Yeah.
Wasn't a permanent federal position. So I did that for a while, and I started looking around for, permanent job, a real job.
For sure, a little security.
Instead of being a postdoc, you want to become a full-fledged, practicing chemist or biochemist. And I had a chance to take a sabbatical replacement position at a 2-year school up in Wisconsin at Fox Valley. And I applied for that, and they accepted me to teach there for a year as a sabbatical replacement. And during that year, I continued to look for other jobs. I had a job interview at Abbott Labs in Chicago. Abbott Labs, the big Abbott pharmaceutical. Oh, they don't do pharmaceuticals, I guess. I don't know how you would classify them, but it's Abbott Labs.
Okay.
And I went there for the interview, and I was walking around and looking at what was going on and seeing how people were working and the kind of environment they were in and what they were saying to each other, and I decided I'd rather teach. And so I redirected my energy toward looking for teaching positions.
Wonderful.
And I ended up I had a house in Wisconsin, and I sent out, probably 30 resumes at different positions, and ended up here at Indian Hills teaching chemistry at a 2-year school.
Wow.
So it kind of came full circle.
It really did. How many years were you at Indian Hills?
Oh, almost 30, 29.4, I think,
Wow.
personnel.
What a commitment. Wow. I can only imagine how many students you have looking back over the years,
Yeah, it's kind of fun to run into them.
I imagine.
From time to time.
Yeah, I imagine. You're such a great mentor. I can imagine that it's really nice to have that community, that community that you've built. So not only were you building community at Indian Hills for 30 years, but here in Fairfield, you plugged right in. It seems like you just, got right in there. When did you join Rotary?
Oh, in 2005.
Wow. Okay. 10 years or so after arriving here.
Right.
And you were instrumental in getting our Interact group together.
I did. I was president of, no, actually, I guess I joined Rotary in 2002.
Okay.
And I was president in 2004-05, which is the centennial anniversary of Rotary International.
Oh, wow.
And so as part of the celebration of Rotary's 100th birthday, not only did we go to Chicago for the international convention, Dave Reeves and myself and Chet Swanson, we started Interact Club that year.
Wow, what a huge service.
And I wanted the Interact Club to be a community-based, not a school-based, but a community-based organization. So most Interact clubs are associated with a particular high school. But I know we have 2 high schools here, and I wanted it to be a community-based organization. So, which meant you had to have more Rotarian involvement because you wouldn't necessarily have a teacher as an advisor. And so that took off, and Beth Alonso has been running it for quite a while now, and she's doing amazing. No, she's really just amazing job with that organization. It's thriving.
It is.
And it has always thrived under her. And I remember when it first got started, people were wondering if it would last, and it has lasted. So it in fact, next year will be Interact's 20th birthday.
Our club?
Interact Club.
Wow, congratulations.
So we need to have a party next year about that.
We do. We do. Just for those that haven't been informed, give just a short little summary of Rotary and then Interact inside of Rotary.
Oh, okay. So Rotary is an international service club all over the world, and Interact is basically a high school version of that organization. So we do a lot of humanitarian work. I have myself been involved mostly in international humanitarian work and writing grants locally. So I do both. Well,
what were some of your, favorite or I guess most?
Well, don't ask me my favorite.
I know. I've only read about a few of them, but the program that you facilitated in Nepal sounds really amazing. Would you share a little bit about that? It seems like there was a deep connection there. You went back and.
Yeah, I've been there twice. I might go there a third time this winter. One day a gentleman came to Rotary. Andy Bergerstadt brought Nayaraj Baral to our club, and he was a student in the accounting program here at MIU. And I got introduced to him and was talking to him, and he's from Nepal, and he was a member of a Rotary Club over there. So we got to know each other. He joined our Rotary Club here, and our first project was to collect together toothbrushes and paste and other dental hygiene things and send them with him back to Nepal because their Rotary Club was doing a dental hygiene camp for children.
Okay.
And we did that, and then we decided to put in a well. So
big job.
A friend of his contacted me and sent me a plan for putting in a well to serve. Turns out that well serves 25,000 people, approximately.
Wow. Might
be more than that. And it was a huge project, and it kind of scared me. So I said, well, let's break it down into two pieces. So we'll put one well in here, and we'll do this, and build a reservoir, and get that part going. And we did that in like 2013. And then a few years later, we put another well in, and conveyance system, pipes running down the street, just like we do here. You run pipes down the street, and then the homes hook up to the water line. And so we did that as a second part of the grant.
Wow.
And so now that total project probably serves 25 or 30,000 people.
Wow.
As soon as you put in water, you start meeting people's basic needs, and you attract people to the community. And so we did that over a period of about 10 years. And so I make a policy of going to visit every project that I'm involved with. And just so people are clear, it's not grant related. I just do this at my own expense. And my first trip was to Turkey in 2005. Also a water project.
Really?
Yeah. And so I've been there twice to visit the project sites and meet the Rotarians and the beneficiaries. And one thing that really excited me about that project was I could tell from the materials that they sent us that the community was heavily involved in managing and learning about water. And they were aggressively interested in taking ownership of that whole process. And the grants that we did there involved a high degree of training. And in the time that I was there the first time in 2013, and my second visit, they had built a water testing laboratory, and they had taken ownership of the water project to that degree.
Wow!
And I know this would be boring to most people, but the best picture I got from that project was on the wall outside the water testing lab. They painted it white.
Yeah.
And then they would put their chemical results of all of the testing they did on the wall, because they don't do mailings like we do here, So I got my water bill the other day. Inside of it is a blue sheet that has all the water testing results on it. Here they wrote them on the wall.
Where so everyone could see it.
Everybody could walk by and see them, and they could test all the different things that you would expect to have tested.
Well, I'm sure that resonated with you a lot. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So you are on City Council. How long have you been a councilman?
Oh, I'm in my 10th year now.
Wow. So you've been in service pretty much, a great portion of your adult life. And even in your retired phase, you're still in service. You are teaching at the Maharshi School right now, but you're also very much involved with the Resilient Action Initiative.
Yeah.
What spurred your interest in the Resilient Action Initiative? I think, it wasn't an initiative until this group came together. You kind of formed it.
Well, just like Nepal, when you see people who are passionate and excited and are putting energy into something, you're going, I should invest in that because they're already investing in it heavily. And so this is going to give me a good return on our investment. And so that's a very attractive feature. So when Mark Dwyer and Ann Walton came to me and talk to me about this. You could see that in them. And they went through the Fairfield Forever Plan and pulled out all of the things that were related to resiliency and sustainability out of that plan, and they were going to take ownership of it. Mm-hmm. And I said, wow, that's great. Yeah, this is what we need. Because the council members aren't going to do that, but when you have members of the community come forward and say, okay, we see this plan, you have adopted it, we want to help you implement it, and here's the part that we want to help with.
Yeah.
And you go, well, why would you look like a gift horse in the mouth?
Right.
So
exactly.
I said, let's go with this. We'll run with this. So I got him in front of council, and the rest is history,
Thank you. Thank you for putting so much time and energy into supporting Fairfield's growth and community engagement, the education of our community, and the governance of our community. Yeah.
Well, it's a rewarding work,
I hope so. I hope so, because you're giving a lot, and we're so grateful. Thank you. I'm so glad that we got to sit today with Doug and get to know him a little better. Keep an eye out for the Resilient Action Initiative and the Resilient Action Committee's work. We'll be bringing that out into the community very soon, getting everyone well informed on the work we're doing. But it's my honor to be able to sit with this Resilient Action Initiative founding member and hear about your life story.
Well, thank you. And I really appreciate everything you've done for the community as well. So you've been a great addition to the team.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your energy and your passion. The skills that you bring are just wonderful. They really are.
Thank you. It's an honor to work with you.
Thank you.
It truly is. Great. All right. We'll see you next time.